Well, tonight we are without a Matt, but it's okay because we still have me and Ben. I'm Aaron, your best host, who is totally prepared for this. Ben,
would you say that Matt's an uncle?
Uncle Matt?
Uncle Traveling Matt? Nobody gets that. So what are we doing today?
The movie we're doing today was your brilliant idea, the Care Bears in Adventure in Wonderland.
To be specific.
Yes, of course. Ben, as we were doing before our stream carelessly decided not to work.
What are you talking about?
We were not having technical issues, I can tell you that much. Let's try to read the synopsis once again. How about that, all right? Okay.
The Care Bears Adventure in Wonderland is a 1987 Canadian-made animated film. It was released in August of that year and changed the world forever. Based on Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland series, it was directed by Raymond Jafface and produced... Is his name funny, Aaron?
No, keep going.
Jafface, whatever. Jafface. And produced by Michael Hirsch, Patrick Labert, or Labert, and Clive A. Smith of Nelvana Studio. Nelvana. There's nothing like Nelvana. Right in the morning. In this incredible example of cinema, the Care Bears must be saved. In this incredible example of cinema, the Care Bears must save the Princess of Wonderland from the evil wizard, totally not Jafar, and his backup minions, Dim and Dumb. The Care Bears call upon the help of ordinary Earth Girl Alice, who bears, no pun intended, a striking resemblance to the Princess of Wonderland. Because we all remember in Lewis Carroll's classic, The Princess of Wonderland.
Was Alice.
Yeah. To save all the Wonderland from certain doom.
Doom and gloom.
Upon release, this movie made $20 trillion and cured all forms of cancer. Only 90s kids will ever remember this. The Care Bears Adventure in Wonderland is currently rated 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and continues to inspire generations of young people.
Yeah, that was from the heart when I wrote that.
It sure was.
So Ben, you wanted to do this movie tonight for a specific reason. Why?
Well, because I think some films are left beyond the sight of the masses.
By the wayside, you mean to say?
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah. It's less
I think this movie is cinema genius.
Cinema genius.
Cinema genius. Probably the best incarnation of Lewis Carroll's Wonderland.
Even better than Tim Burton's?
That's pushing it. No, I think this is pure cinematic animated genius.
Oh,
it sure is.
Right down from the robots to the God, I'm at a loss for words. This movie's too good.
Oh,
I think that's the problem.
It's so good that so many people were not even aware of it.
I had no idea it existed until last week when you told me about it.
Yeah. So, should we tell, like, the Care Bears start out as a greeting card, right?
Yeah, you made me watch that video before the show.
No, I didn't. We didn't totally rehearse this.
No, we didn't, actually.
No, they started out greeting cards, but I remember the series, because there was a series, like, in the 80s to the 90s, something like that. And you know what's funny is, I think Disney had the Gummy Bears around the same time.
Yeah, the Gummy Bears was something that I remember watching. I don't remember watching the Care Bears.
I remember watching reruns of it later as a kid. And I remember because they recycled the same voices in the movie.
Yeah.
The voice of Dim is the same voice of Beasley, I think the character's name in the cartoon.
Oh, of course. Who could forget him?
And there's a bad guy named No Heart who wants to destroy everything in the
No
cartoon.
Heart. Do you think that name is too cryptic? Not on the nose enough?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about this film.
Well, before we move on, could you clarify for me something? Why were they called the Gummy Bears? Because they weren't gummy at all.
Because they drink gummy berry juice.
But
let me explain. Can I explain?
Okay.
Magic and mystery
I'm following.
are part of their history.
Yeah, I mean,
Along with the secrets of gummy berry juice.
I forgot about that part.
Dashing and daring. Courageous and caring.
I mean, it all makes sense now. I can't believe I questioned it.
Listen, gummy bears. Bouncing here and there and everywhere. High adventure, Aaron. Beyond compare.
Yeah,
They're the gummy bears, Aaron.
I really regret questioning this because now it makes so much sense, and I feel stupid for questioning.
Do you remember the little green troll that was like the runt of the other trolls? He called the bad guy Dookie.
No, I don't. But that sounds really funny.
Yeah, Dookie.
I bet the kids loved that one.
There's a good Alicia Keys
Is there?
dramatic piano of her. I'll show
Doing
that
the
after
Gummy
the
Bears
Yeah,
theme?
it's the best. She does it really good. Like it's really dramatic. And she's playing it.
I would never have guessed.
Yeah, it's the best. Anyway, so
About the Care Bears.
the Care Bears.
You know, the Care Bears.
Let's talk about this. Let's break it down into just.
Would you say
story
that we should
structure.
unpack it?
Yeah, let's unpack this.
Okay.
You can watch this on YouTube.
Yeah, that's what we did.
That's what we did. There's like 3 different versions.
Did not have to bust out the VHS player for this
No,
one.
you didn't. No. Let's unpack this.
Okay. It starts on Earth.
On Earth.
Right.
No. It starts.
Oh, yeah. It starts in the
Care Bear world.
The Cloud Place.
What's it called?
Cloud Place.
Cloud Place.
Yes.
It's the last level in Mario Brothers 2.
I thought that was like World 5.
No. World 7.
Oh, you're talking Mario Brothers 2. I thought you would. Okay. I
Yeah.
misinterpreted.
Yeah.
You're right. It is the
It is.
last world of Mario Brothers 2.
The last level. Not Ward's Castle, but before you get to Ward's
Yeah. The part with the albatrosses.
Castle. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I remember.
Yeah, and you know the name of the albatrosses?
I used to.
Wilbur and Orville.
I get it. The Wright brothers.
No. It's not the Wright brothers. It's the name of the albatrosses in.
Oh, good. It's not popcorn?
The Rescuers Down Under.
It's not popcorn.
Yeah,
That's an Orville Redenbacher joke for you
true.
90s kids.
Yeah, that's funny.
Okay.
Anyway, so this movie is
Starts in Cloud World.
Cloud World with a beautiful 80s music.
Yeah, I actually
Some of the
did
music
enjoy
was
some of the
interesting.
music here.
It's very dated.
Yes, very.
Yeah.
With the Lindrum's very 80s drum samples. It almost sounded like a drum machine that I had laying around as a kid.
Yeah, and these stars wake up, and they wake up everybody in Care Bear World, and the last to wake up is Grumpy, who reminds me of you, Grumpy Bear.
I was thinking the same thing. Don't even talk to me until I've had my breakfast.
He reminds me of you. Like he was funny too.
He very much is concerned with the simple things in life.
He was like, I'm tired.
He doesn't need magic and mystery.
No.
Breakfast is his history.
We're crossing bears here now.
Yeah. We're crossbreeding the bears here, but that's okay because they're very similar.
They are.
They both are bears.
Except for like one of them shoots like heat waves from their chest.
They all do in tandem. It only works when they do it together.
Yeah.
Which tells us a lot about what they're trying to impart on the kids. Is that when we're all working together, we can really get things done.
It sure can. We can.
And I mean that with all of my heart. Don't laugh at that.
Yeah, if we can organize things, we can, mob up against anybody.
We can completely destroy anything in our path.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Strength in numbers.
Yeah.
Mob mentality. But anyway, so they wake up, and Grumpy Bear wakes up, and there's like he has a mirror by his
Right,
bed
they do
because
the mirror
he's so
thing.
vain. He has a mirror by his
Well,
bed.
yeah, I mean, I did.
But I'm tired. And he hears a little, I'm over here, which I've heard which is like a little face. It's the white rabbit,
Right,
sticking himself out of the mirror.
The white rabbit, yeah, him.
And
he's late as usual.
He's groggy. He throws the pillow on it. And then he goes to brush his teeth and sees the white rabbit there.
In the mirror. Yeah, he can go from mirror to mirror. I found that interesting.
And then he jumps out.
I found it very Scorsese-esque.
It was. Yeah, it was. And then he said, I'm looking for my cousin.
My cousin?
Yeah, and I guess there's a Care Bear rabbit.
Yeah, you didn't know?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's one of the Care Bears.
I guess they're called the Care Bear cousins.
That I was not familiar with until.
Or
you
was it
told
his
me.
niece? It was his niece.
Yeah, they were related. They
were
did mention
related,
that. It still bothers me that they're part of the Care Bears. They're too inclusive.
Yeah, I guess there's another Care Bear movie that explained why they're part of the Care Bears.
I mean, you and I could be Care Bear cousins.
I think next week we should do the first Care Bear movie and see how this all began, because I was very curious about that.
It got me thinking.
Well, I'm going to read a lot of literature tonight about it to see, like, how are they related?
I'm sure that Ebert has an analysis
Do you know
somewhere.
What, you know, it's one of them. The lion's called Braveheart.
Yeah.
I don't know if the internet has done this yet, but have they made a Braveheart meme?
I don't know, but if there was
Like,
be another...
We're going to do one where it's like we can just take him and put the Braveheart
of
face
course.
paint on him.
Yeah. I mean, I almost did that for tonight's show.
Oh. Well, you
That
suck.
said, Sorry.
What, Lorraine?
I just had some extra air in my mouth. If there is ever to be another Care Bears movie, Mel Gibson will play the role of the lion.
Yeah. He's like...
Don't say it.
Care Bears are free. Anyway, so the bunny finds his cousin. Like, the princess has been stolen by Jafar.
Oh, that's an original story.
By
Jafar.
Wonderland, by Jafar. And we gotta find a lookalike to hold his place so they keep the court.
Classic story. We've all seen it before, but this time it's got an interesting twist.
It's the Prince and the Pauper kind of thing.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah. And anyway, so they go around Earth searching for, like, in their cloud cars. They have little cloud cars, and they go around Earth searching for this person that looks like the Princess of Wonderland. And nobody's freaked out at all.
Yeah, not at all.
No, there's a talking bear with hearts on their chest.
In fact, they sing.
Yeah,
So
they do. But then one kid, without even asking, he comes up to the kid and doesn't even ask, have you seen this person? The kid goes, oh, I know that person. She lives right there.
wow, we could have skipped the whole song and dance if you'd come up to us a little earlier, boy.
And so he goes.
That annoyed me,
yeah.
I will say. Other than that, the movie's perfect.
Oh, it's flawless.
Yeah.
And so then they all beam with their rainbows to Alice's house.
like you
And
do.
And she's like, I'm not special. And
She was very down on herself.
She was.
An attitude that many of us reflect in our daily
Yeah.
life.
And she goes, he has a striking resemblance to the princess, but is she special enough? That rabbit's kind of mean a little bit.
Yeah.
He's on the white rabbit, who was kind of gray. Was he gray?
Well, he's getting on in years. Don't gang up on the rabbit now.
Anyway,
He's been late for so long.
He has. And anyway, so they said, fuck it, we'll just do it live. And they
I'll thank you not to curse around the Care
I'm
Bears.
sorry.
You're never going to be a Care Bear cousin now.
You damn
You're
it.
out of the clan.
Shucks. Anyway, so they go into the mirror, but half of them go in because the evil sorcerer is aware of their plan of having the fake Alice hold court while they search for the real or the fake Queen of Wonderland hold court.
Maybe you can clear this up
Princess of
for me.
Wonderland hold court while they find the real princess.
Who decides to uphold this law that if they don't have the princess in there by a certain time, the bad guy gets the crown? Who decided that?
The screenwriter.
Yes, of course, but they did bring in like their own like Book of Who later on, didn't they?
Which they already were aware of that.
Yeah, and they acted like whatever the book says goes.
Yeah.
That's very. I don't know how to feel about that.
There's a lot of order in Wonderland, which didn't make sense.
Like checkerboard grass.
No, like saneness.
Oh yeah, it was pretty sane for Wonderland. I mean,
It was.
It only got really crazy when the Mad Hatter was around, and even he made sense.
I actually like the idea of the. Well, let's continue the story now. I'll circle back on this. Anyway, so they go in Wonderland. They meet Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Who are called Dim and Dumb. They're afraid of spiders. Voiced by the guy who did Toad in Mario Brothers. Yeah. Genius.
Which they were kind of fun. Boss! Which they were kind of
I laughed every time.
Me too.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you cry.
And this
every
guy
time.
looked like Jafar. Like, he looked exactly like Jafar.
And it predates Aladdin by, 5, 6 years?
It did.
Yeah.
And they had giant robots, and they were fighting with the robots. And I thought that was funny. They were on the couch playing video games.
Yeah, it was very 1987, which is when this movie came out.
Yeah, they were playing Atari. Anyway, so
this is the hardest movie to get through.
Sure,
it's very dense.
It's very complex. So they go to Wonderland, and then they get So the Dim and Dumb eventually try 3 times or whatever to try to kidnap Alice,
and
before they reach the
their
palace.
Their plans were good, but not that good.
But then they kidnap her, and then they go to the palace anyways.
Yep.
Anyway, they kidnap her, they go to the palace and let her go in the palace, and the queen says, "That's my daughter." And she knows it's not his daughter.
She's in on this. She's in on it.
She thinks that
she
the
is
sorcerers
also going against the book's will.
Yeah, the Queen of Hearts also is aware that Jafar.
He's Jafar from now on.
This is going to be Jafar. Aware Jafar is the advisor.
He is the advisor.
It's the same role as Jafar.
I have to wonder what Disney was thinking.
I don't know. Apparently, Lion King's not original either, but we'll talk about that either.
I don't know if anything Disney does is original, especially now.
Anyways, she's aware of it, so she's going to go around with the hoax why half of the Care Bears go out. We find out that the real princess has been planted by Dim and Dumb.
Right.
In the Jabberwockies' lair.
Is the Jabberwocky always depicted as dragon-esque?
I think so.
Yeah. Every time I see a Jabberwocky, I'm like, it's a dragon? Mm-hmm. Every time. It just seems more furry by the name to me. But that's just me.
A Jabberwocky. Yeah.
So, at this point in the story, as I recall...
Yeah, you take it away.
As I recall, a lot of effort goes into rescuing the real princess from the Jabberwocky, who is just ornery because he's got a thorn in his paw.
Yeah.
Or his... what do you call a dragon paw?
A claw.
Claws. Sure. He's got a thorn in his hand, and it hurts, and he's being upset about that. So the Care Bears help him out.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. But he worked a hard day, and
Yeah, I mean,
there's no Mrs. Jabberwocky.
Who wants to come home to a bunch of tiny bears stealing your one thing in this world?
Which is the princess of Wonderland.
Right. So, after they rescue the princess, they get her back to the castle to try to swap her with the fake princess, Alice. Mm-hmm. And gosh, what happens at that point? It's so dense.
So what happens
Every
is
frame
they
is
get
so dense.
They get the book out, and she has to go up the highest mountain.
Oh, right. She has to
go get the water
in the wilderness to get the water from the spring and then water the
it's very Native American.
Sleeping garden. Yeah, it's kind of like a Vision Quest sort of thing.
A little bit of a...
Except it has a tangible
it does, a little bit 300, too.
Yeah.
300
was a good movie.
Survivor of the Wild.
Yeah, so... it's coming back to me. I watched
dense. It's pretty dense.
I watched this a whole day ago. And they get back, and everything is revealed by Jafar because he's sick and tired of failing. So he's like, no, I kidnapped her, whatever.
Well, what happened was, so she saved a unicorn, apparently. Do you remember this part?
I do remember her saving a unicorn.
She had to get the special water.
I got mad at her for saving that unicorn.
To the special water from the highest peak to bloom the blossoms in the garden, and then is revealed that she is the real princess. But she saved a unicorn with the water. But he goes, but if you're a real princess, you can touch it. I know, this is really dense.
Ben, I'm going mad.
We're almost done.
I know. It still hurts.
So,
I can't do this.
You can do it.
I can't do this.
You're the true princess.
I'm not. I'm not special in any way.
It's two more lines for the end. We can do it.
God, I hated this movie.
Hold on, let's finish it. Let's finish for everybody. So she said, if you're a true
I
princess,
can't keep up the charade.
you can touch the
The
flowers
sleeping garden.
and bloom. And like what happens was we didn't see the old swapperoo, but then apparently
Right.
they swapped the real princess.
They
in
really
between,
pulled the wool over our
and
eyes.
she swapped. And Jafar admits that he did it, kidnapped the original princess.
He
and,
played it.
and
He showed his hand. It's no good.
Yeah, it was a good sting.
Yeah, it was a
This
very.
movie was great. This
no,
movie was awesome.
no, it was. Oh my god! I told you before the show. I felt as though I was in a mild stroke-like condition for the entire hour and 15 minutes.
What did I text you last night?
What?
Let me see what I
I
text.
know.
What did I text you last night?
Oh, it was torture.
Yeah.
Pull up the text.
What did I say to him?
Pull up the text. What? You got the receipts? Pull up that text. Come on. Don't leave me hanging here.
Oh, I can't believe I watched this. It was torture.
And before this show, we promised to play the whole thing straight. I can't do it. I can't do it.
All right, let's be honest.
Okay, let's be honest. There's one thing I want to know about kids'
It wasn't
movies.
terrible.
No, it wasn't the worst.
It wasn't terrible.
But it's a very kid-oriented movie. And we are not that.
But W.C. Fields made an appearance,
No, he didn't. They made a reference to him.
which is beyond kids.
I'm sure they appreciated it. I know I did.
All right, let's talk about the good ideas.
Before we go any further, there's one thing I want to know. Why in kids' movies must they sing every 5 to 10 minutes? Why must?
Because Disney set the trend.
Well, I'm sure it just doesn't. Okay, maybe I'm weird, and we know I am. But when I was a kid, the constant singing, even to me as a child, really turned me off. My brain would I would glaze over during the music parts, just waiting for them to get back to the plot. I hated it. Why does it have to be like this in every movie? That's why I loved Pixar movies so much when I got older.
I actually kind of like music and musical.
I like them in some things,
Yeah.
but when it's every kid's movie, I mean, challenge the kids, stimulate them, show them concepts that they might not get right away.
But there's some good musical numbers that emote. Not to say this was any good at all.
Oh
Music
no,
wasn't
I
good
especially liked the very kid-friendly rapping styles of the Cheshire Cat.
news. It's
Oh
pretty
my
good.
god. No, it wasn't. It was a drum beat with him saying words in a rhythmic fashion.
It's pretty good.
The only good part about that was the animation where he's changing colors and they've got the pattern on him and the pattern doesn't move.
Let's talk about the animation.
Okay.
Because I was telling you before the podcast.
Now we're in my wheelhouse.
That, like, there's parts that this is pretty cheap,
Yeah.
pretty standard, and then parts were like, that's almost Disney-ish.
Very Canadian most of the time.
Yeah, really good. It's like, this is like bacon.
It had
but it's not
glimmers
really
of
bacon.
greatness. And especially, I'm a sucker for optical effects and stuff because they would do the sparkles and stuff a lot, and I still don't know how those were done in those days. It had to be some kind of optical. I don't
Like
know.
a photograph.
It seems photographic,
Yeah, like they photographed
like a
sparks on black or something like that.
yeah.
They pick out
That seems like how it would be done.
overlaid it.
I'm not from that era, so that's not me. I'm not from that era, so I couldn't tell how it would be done.
So yeah, and then there's some like elaborate, like obviously they're not animating with twos anymore on some things, and some things they're
I
animating
mean,
with
it's
twos.
mostly two. What do you mean in some cases? Explain. Not on
Well,
twos
it
where.
was very like fluid
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
in some areas. Like everything that's shown in this clip behind us is all the bad parts. You know? They're not even showing anything good.
I do remember some good stuff. I'll say
Yeah.
that much. It was for a dumb kids movie. It was pretty well produced, and it had a theatrical release, which we had no idea.
Yeah, I thought it was just a made-for-TV movie. That's what.
No, but you
We
know,
should do
it did make $20 trillion.
And cured a lot of cancer.
All forms of cancer.
All forms.
Only 90s kids.
Only 90 kids.
That is one of my
Only 90s
least
kids.
favorite jokes of all time. or least favorite things that people have said is the only 90s kids will get this,
All right, let's talk about some of the ideas it had for Alice in Wonderland, which I kind of like.
which is to change everything.
Yes. We've seen the same trope over and over again. I like the idea of the one thing I really did like is their concept of the Mad Hatter.
You know what?
I actually think that's
I'll
a
agree
cool,
with you.
clever idea.
I'll agree
Where he
with
just
you.
didn't have one hat; he wore different hats, and every time he wore a hat, he was schizophrenic. And and when other people wore it, they would be different characters too.
I don't know if that was the case in any other Alice in Wonderland
No,
adaptation.
but I think that's a
I
great.
like it.
I think if someone were to make another adaptation, they should borrow that
Or steal it.
steal it.
Shamelessly.
Yeah, I think that was a really good idea, and it's like obviously this role would have been perfect with a bigger budget.
Robin Williams.
With Robin Williams
Yeah.
as the voice of the Mad Hatter because he just changed a different.
Put on a hat.
characters.
Oh,
Oh, oh.
that's how you know who he is.
Oh.
Exactly.
I mean, Jafar's in this movie. Why can't we put Robin Williams?
We've
in
got
this
half the equation.
movie? And didn't Alice, when she wore her princess, the princess looked like Princess Toadstool, Peach?
Well, she's a blonde in a pink dress.
Yep.
I guess that's all it takes.
And one of the guys was the voice of Toad, so there's that.
So many connections to things we actually care about.
So what else did you love about this movie?
Oh my God. I loved it when Grumpy Bear finally got his breakfast because he is like me.
He's exactly like, I don't know. And then I like the one thing I did like is when he turned into the sailor with the Mad Hatter's hat.
Oh, yeah,
and skipped
yeah,
off. I
yeah.
thought that was funny.
And he had the pirate voice. That was quaint. I actually smiled.
Yeah. There were some things that made me smile.
Yeah. There were no mushrooms though.
No mushroom.
I made the graphics for this before I even watched the movie, so I was hoping for mushrooms.
I like it. I like the graphics. And Adventure in Wonderland.
Yeah, it's a creepy Wonderland.
Yeah, the plot's okay. Some of the ideas are good. When he's wrestling with the little robot was funny.
I can say that they didn't play it completely by the numbers, and they tried to be creative with it.
No, there were some interesting ideas.
Yeah, like
really
the
did.
traffic caterpillar guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't just smoking a hookah this time.
And the Jabberwocky being just a dude.
Hey, what's up?
He's like, oh,
I got a thorn in my dragon paw.
He's like, and the Jabberwocky abides. The Jabberwocky abides. Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that.
No.
Remember when your voice was all messed up and you sounded like Sam Elliott 100% of the time?
Sam Elliott.
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
Ben, I think we've covered absolutely everything.
We have 2 more minutes.
That's okay. That is okay.
We can stretch it.
No vamping. No vamping.
Anyway, so the history of the...
Oh, God. No. Let us move on to the review portion
Okay.
of the show.
What do you
Now,
think about... What do you,
I'm thinking we need to do a dual rating for this.
okay.
One rating for how you think you would have liked it as a kid, and another rating for how you like it now.
Okay.
How do you think? I'll go first.
Kid first.
Kid first. Kid Aaron would have fallen asleep in this movie. Absolutely. And he would have liked the hat stuff like current me does.
Mm-hmm.
But if you asked him to watch this movie again, he would say, "Please no. I would rather watch Jurassic Park again." And
Well, anybody would rather watch Jurassic Park again.
you're right. That's an unfair.
God damn it.
That's an unfair
Would you
comparison.
watch Mother again? That'd be the comparison.
Only if it was with you and Matt.
Okay.
I would absolutely watch it again with you and Matt. That movie fills me with so much joy because I hate it so much.
In this movie, you hate so much that it
No,
takes
this
the joy
movie.
right out of you.
No, I don't even hate this movie. I'm just so indifferent to it.
It's just there. Look at the blue thing. You know,
Blue thing.
coming out of the south.
Trying to eat breakfast.
Yeah.
No, young
he
me.
definitely reminded me of you.
He reminded me of me.
Grumpy.
Yeah. Although I am probably the most morning person out of all of ourselves, you, me, and Matt. I would bet that.
Now you are. You weren't originally.
No,
You've been trained to get up
I've
early.
trained. Yes. Young me would probably give this a 4 out of 10 if you explained our rating scale to him. And new me, current me, Honestly, I think I would rate it the same. It's I haven't changed much. I'm a very consistent person. Now, it's got some stuff. It's got some good things. It's got some songs that kids might like, even though I don't agree with that practice in every animated movie. But it's got some heart. Is that fair to say?
No pun intended?
No, not at all. I wasn't thinking that.
Oh.
It seems like they wanted to make this movie.
No, the actual creators put some effort into it, obviously.
Yeah, it seems like it wasn't a paint by numbers and make cash affair.
No, and there was it wasn't totally kid, even though it's kid.
Right, they made a W.C. Fields reference.
Well,
10 out of 10.
I'm saying if they made Care Bears this movie today, which they probably did, I don't even know. It'd be more PG. You know, it'd be more like it'd be so at least it has a little bit of darkness in the 80s. Not a lot. There's some dark things that they did, but the 80s was filled with more dark things in it.
Yeah, I mean, Jafar wanted to take all the color out of Wonderland in this movie, and he wanted to
have order in Wonderland, which I think is a good concept for a villain.
He wanted rules. I mean,
like that'd be a funny villain. That'd be a perfect villain.
I completely understood him.
Yeah, for Wonder Woman, but they already had a lot of order to begin with.
And all I wanted to do was lower taxes, build a wall.
there was too many illegal immigrants coming in
into Wonderland. That's how the elephant and the rabbit and the lion got in.
Absolutely.
He was just trying to fix things. Now, all right, I would say,
and they're drinking out of the toilets.
Don't go there. Okay. Well, my thought was, if this movie was, or if Care Bears was to be made today, I don't even know if I would update it for I wouldn't make it more adult friendly, because I think it's in a nice little sweet spot where, yeah, I don't like it, but kids probably do, and I think it should be very kid oriented.
It's interesting how much there's a bear phenomenon in the 80s. Gummy bears, Care Bears, Teddy Ruxpin. Remember him?
No, you're gonna have to enlighten me.
Yeah, well,
Teddy what?
Rupskin.
Teddy
Rupskin. There's a movie.
Teddy
Rupskin.
What about Corduroy? That was a lot earlier, wasn't it? That was like 70s
Teddy
or something.
Teddy Rupskin. Is that how you say
I'm gonna look this up. Corduroy.
Rumpelstiltskin.
You probably don't know how to spell corduroy.
This is good radio.
I don't know. We're learning things. Corduroy.
Yeah. Teddy Ruxpin. Excuse me.
Ruxpin. Yeah, I was right. Corduroy came a lot earlier.
Teddy Ruxpin was a whole deal. He came out in the 80s and 1985, and around the same time, and it was Hasbro, and they made a movie with him. So they're trying to capitalize on this Care Bear phenomenon.
But back to Corduroy, that was way earlier. Like I assumed.
They made a movie though in the 80s. I think
1968. Corduroy.
I think it was stop motion. Like live action stop motion.
I believe that. I don't think I've seen it, but I will say Corduroy was one of my favorite books as a child.
Mm-hmm.
He gets stuck in the laundromat and falls in the soap. That was fun.
Yes.
I enjoyed that.
I loved when you were a child. I love that story.
Why don't you do your ratings now?
This is
obviously genius.
This is genius, Miles. This movie was great. It was pure cinematic geniuses. 3.
That's your young Ben rating?
No, for adult.
Adult Ben would rate it a 3.
Maybe a 6 as a kid. I like.
So worth watching, maybe even
if
twice.
If it was on TV, I watch it.
Oh, when you were like, say,
7 or 8.
When we were stupid.
I like cartoons, man. I like cartoons.
You know what? I do too.
I don't care what they are. Like I loved cartoons. Remember the Pound Puppies? Those were cartoons once. And
I don't know that I ever saw the show. I remember the toys.
See, it's a very similar thing. And the Snickerdoodles. What are they called? The Poodles?
You're clearly the expert here.
There were some crazy animations in the 80s.
There really were.
There was like alien dogs that were like cute, that looked like Care Bears. There's a lot of Care Bear like animals in the 80s.
Well, the aliens.
Alien.
Why does that sound familiar?
Let me pull this up. We got a few more minutes.
Well, technically we're over time. Yeah. That's okay though.
Alien puppy dogs.
Right, alien puppy. I'm gonna do the same thing.
Puppy dog movie.
Wait, this is what I want in my Google search history.
Yeah, alien puppy dog movie.
Toys.
What was it called? No, come on. 1980s.
Spunky Pup Toys.
1980s.
Is that it? That can't be it. No, that's new.
No, that's not it. What was it called?
Well, I'll put 80s in the query.
There was Oliver and Companies.
I don't know if I can find this, dude.
The Scruffy, is that what it's called? I don't know.
Well, I found Pound Purries. Oh, they're cat versions. I think this is a rabbit hole that we're not prepared to
Yeah,
go
we're not
down.
prepared. There was an alien puppy dog movie in the 80s.
And you know what? I'm super upset that I missed it.
I think we should watch that at some point, too. I think this is where our gold and bread and butter is. You know, we would do this for a living if you guys wanted.
Oh my God!
Us
Are you
too.
gonna e-beg? Are you gonna do it?
Play the music.
I don't have any music. I don't have any.
You see this? This is a face of sadness. Sad, I tell you. I want to do this for a living. So please, like, subscribe, share to friends. We're just as good as any other podcast.
We promise.
We promise. Don't make me beg. Please, we can talk about movies. For you, we can make shorts and do all kinds of things. We can do a lot of things.
Just remember to stop before it gets pathetic, Ben.
You're right.
Okay.
I'm a good people person. What's wrong with you people? Anyways.
Boy, I really enjoyed this book.
I heard the sound effect barely in my headphones.
I read this book.
Yeah.
It's called Ben Begs for Money Online.
Don't take my word for it. I don't think we ended there.
Yeah, I don't think we can do any better than that. All right, I think
Matt will be back.
Matt will be back. Next week, we're doing The Great Race, 1966 or so.
Oh, that's a good movie.
I like that
And,
one.
you know, the inmates have run in the asylum now. Aren't they?
Oh, it's been
boy.
it's been interesting.
It'd be good.
All right.
Now, if you want more of this, and don't want Matt in it, well,
I'm gonna
like
cut
and
you off now.
subscribe.
Bye.